Hello. 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 1 second. Hello, y'all. We got a lot to go over today, honey. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. So welcome. I'm your chief nosy bystander. But hold on, my TV is off, and I don't know why it's off. Hold on. I was wondering. I was wondering why it was so dark in here. No freaking wonder. All the lights are off. All the lights are on. We had to start early today because there's a lot of slides to go through. So, hello, welcome to the Nosy Bystanders Live. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander Stephanie. I also have very wet hair, but we have a lot to go over. So, if you already know, today is day 5 of the R. Kelly trial. And, honey, can you guys hear me? Things are heating up. Things are heating up indeed. Who's in the building? Let me give y'all a couple of minutes to come in here, okay? Hello. Like, Steph, that's clearly not enough time to let us get in here. I know, my bad. I'm sorry. Hello. Let me see. I'm gonna fix the chat. Get myself settled in. I want to lower my camera a little, but I think it looks fine. Okay, let's see who's in here. Ha ha ha. Also, we have a microphone. Every time you smash that like button, we can upgrade our equipment. That's to you guys. Every time you smash the like button, we can update our shit. I'm just saying. It's free of charge. Who's in the building? So we have Tamika. Hello, Tamika. We have Cami and Carla. Hello, Carla. Carla said 1, 2, 3, 5th. Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Kadeen. We have Keeping God in it. Hello, Keeping God in it. Kira, Neva, Dr. Jones. Hello, Dr. Jones. Nosy by Nature. Hi, Nosy by Nature. We have Blaze 106.91. Gotta say it like the radio station because that's just how it is. MX3, how you doing? What's up, Clouds? What's up, Mysterious by Nature? We have Shay, Janisha. Hello, Janisha. Hello, Lioness Queen. We have Taurus Season, Delightful Deli. I feel like you changed your name. Delightful. No, you didn't. Oh, Lady Lovelace. Hello. We have Jasmine and Quan Shay. Hey, Quan. We have Kira and Vonda. Hello, Vonda. Mel. Who else we got in the building? Van Baby and Anderson Hardy. So I'll just let everybody else just filter in. Hello, welcome. So today is day 5 of R. Kelly's trial, and today's day 5 of R. Kelly's trial, and it's a doozy. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. There is a lot of other stories going on, but it's Friday, and I want to talk about this case. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my slides on my phone so I can see them. Sorry. Pull the slides up on my phone. Also, I promise you guys, I'm not going to do any weird ASMR with this microphone. It was rather expensive, and I don't want to put glue or spit on it. Okay, so put that right there. And let me pull up our first slide. We're just going to jump right into it because there's a lot of slides today. So if you can remember from last time we were discussing it, our court reporter, Dave Barnes, is reporting on this story live from the courtroom. The courtroom does not have any video, so he has to tweet it to us. Just like that. There's no other way to explain it. He's just tweeting it from us. So he is live in the courtroom and he's tweeting it to us. So we're going to just read it as is. So let me see. Hello, you guys. Welcome. Smash the like button. Let's begin. So Dave starts off and he says, "Good morning from Chicago, Durkin's Federal Courthouse, where R. Kelly's trial is entering its 5th day. Prosecutors finished questioning Kelly's alleged victim, Jane, yesterday. So today, his defense team will be starting its cross-examinations of her." Yowza. Y'all ready for this? Because, child, we getting into it. Okay, so I want to preface this by saying I have not read any of this thread. I promise you I haven't. I did post it in, like, I set up all the slides, but I have not read any of this. So it's going to be all new to me too. Okay. Watch for the live reactions. I know a lot of people are going to come by today at 5 o'clock. Like, where's Steph? Don't worry. This is going to be a long live. So our people who show up at 5 o'clock, they'll be here at 5. So Dave Barnes continues and says, jury hasn't come in yet. The federal prosecutors are requesting presiding judge Larry Lennon Weber address their concerns that Kelly's lead defense attorney, Jennifer Bogine, made inappropriate comments regarding evidence discovery yesterday in front of the jury. Ooh, the prosecutors are not happy with Miss Bogine. They are not happy with Miss Bogine. Dave continues and he says, Bogine objects. She claims she hasn't seen what's on some of the discs that allegedly contain R. Kelly's tapes, and that prosecution is being disingenuous regarding providing access to trial evidence. So that's in this next slide here. Just give it a couple of seconds. It's going to load. So if you've just joined us, R. Kelly's attorney is being accused by the prosecution of making inappropriate comments regarding evidence and discovery. R. Kelly's attorney is objecting to that. So they're saying she made inappropriate comments in regards to discovery evidence yesterday. Starting at the top here, Bogine objects to that claim and says she hasn't seen what's on some of the discs that have allegedly contained R. Kelly's tapes. You guys can read that. I'm not going to say it out loud. And that prosecution is being disingenuous regarding providing access to trial evidence. The government this is from Bogine, and he's quoting it. The government has not provided us with the clips they intend to use. We still should know what they're using from those tapes, Bogine says. So Bogine saying that the prosecutors haven't even let her see what they're about to present to the court. So she's not even prepared to cross-examine anyone on that because I haven't seen those tapes. And if you know, if you've come here about R. Kelly, then you know, okay? Lennon Weber, who is the judge, is playing peacemaker. He declines to make any specific ruling on this issue at this time and implies that he'll be making decisions regarding use of the tapes in court as they arise. Lennon Weber, again, the presiding judge over R. Kelly's case, said only the jury will be allowed to see R. Kelly's alleged tapes, that they will not be shown in the public in the courtroom. He added that audio from the tapes won't be censored, however. Now that's interesting. So the jury can see, hello, Tiny. The jury can see R. Kelly's tapes. The prosecution can see R. Kelly's tapes. But R. Kelly's own defense can't see the alleged tapes. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right at all. I'm sorry. I know R. Kelly is guilty as sin, honey, but that's not right at all. That is not right. So everyone gets to see the tapes except R. Kelly. It's his defense. This is from a partner wife. Hello, it's partner wife said, that should not be for public consumption. The defense though, that's weird. You're right. And I agree with that. Now, those tapes should not be shown for the public because the courtroom is open, but there are no video. But our court reporter here, Dave Barnes, is reporting it. So he would be able to do his best to describe in 240 characters what's on the tapes. That's weird. He knows what's on there. Yeah, he does, but we're talking about you guys. So let me just try to make this clear before we move on to our next slide, okay? We know this man is guilty. R. Kelly knows that he's guilty. R. Kelly's defense knows he's guilty. But that's not how the court of law works. You have the right to due process, okay? That is your Fourth Amendment or Fifth Amendment right I'm a political scientist and I don't know which one it is. Okay. But it is your right under the United States Constitution for due process, which means that you have the right to not only face your accuser in court, but you have the right to see the evidence presented against you in a court of law. So whether he knows he's guilty or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't negate the Constitution, how we feel. The Constitution has nothing to do with feelings and has everything to do with the right of man and common law and everything of that nature. Has nothing to do with emotions, feelings, being erratic, being having ups and downs, none of that. The It has nothing to do with none of that. So I just want to make sure that's abundantly clear. So here we unfortunately, like, I know that we do talk about a lot of celebrity gossip and we get nosy at times, but we also have to be clear about, like, we can't negate due process because we don't like R. Kelly. You understand? Okay, does that make sense? So I just want to make sure we're just being objective. You okay? What's up, Rashida? You said I'm late. You're not late. Just rewind the tape back. We're live, so you can actually start from the beginning and you won't miss anything. Jasmine Moore says, regardless of him being a pizza, thank you for using emojis. He's still supposed to have the right. That's right. Kira says, oh, no, I agree. Kelly should be able to view the tapes. I find it funny the courts won't let him view it. I do too. What's up, Carol B? That is so weird. So if you just joined us, we are on day 5 of the R. Kelly trial, and the prosecution in the trial of R. Kelly is stating that R. Kelly's attorney is being inappropriate when it comes to discovery evidence. R. Kelly's attorney is arguing that they won't let her see some of the discovery evidence, which happens to be the 1998 alleged tapes at question. The judge ruled, and all of that's here, right? I'm just giving you guys the review. The judge states that he's not going to let the attorney see it or R. Kelly see the tapes. Only the jury is going to be able to see those alleged tapes from 1998. And R. Kelly, the only thing R. Kelly is going to be able to hear is the audio. So we're arguing over here. Well, at least I am. You don't have to agree with me. It doesn't mean you have to leave. You don't have to agree with me, though. But we can't violate R. Kelly's due process because what? You know what I mean? R. Kelly doesn't have to view it in public, but at least in private, he should be able to review it with his attorneys, So that's where we are. Moving to the next slide. Hold on, let me pull it up for you guys. I'd be so behind. Okay. So hold on. So I got to itch, y'all. Hold on. Smash the like button for us, please. There's a 98 of you in the building. We're only at 50 likes. Again, I hate to be that person, but that's what keeps the lights on, y'all. That's what keeps the lights on. So smash that like button, okay? So we're on the next slide. Our court reporter, Dave Barnes, says Jane's cross-examination is starting. Doom, doom, doom. R. Kelly's attorneys are now gearing up to cross-examine the alleged victim in the 1998 X tapes. It's the first time. Cannot believe no one else is reporting on this. Is buck wild. It's buck wild. R. Kelly's co-defendant. He has a co-defendant? Milton Brown. Kathleen Leone. R. Kelly has a code. Hold up. There's other people charged in this case. The ex-assistant. I didn't know that. Neva Monet, hello. It says Jane's cross-examination is starting with defense attorneys for R. Kelly's co-defendants. So R. Kelly's attorneys aren't cross-examining her yet, but his co-defendants' attorneys are. His co-defendants are Milton Brown and Kathleen Leone. Brown is Kelly's former personal assistant. I had no idea he had co-defendants. I didn't even know they was in the same room. Co-defendant, I'm sorry. Kathleen Leone is her attorney. Thank you. I had no idea he had a co-defendant. I didn't know. I have no idea, Margaret. We might have to chat Monday or Sunday. We're going to have to come back and we're going to have to dig into this Milton Brown because I don't know. I've never heard of this person a day in my life. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they came from. So let's begin. Leone is Milton Brown's attorney. Leone is questioning Jane. Jane is from the 1998 R. Kelly X tape. Jane, about the time Brown allegedly took her to get her R. Kelly's tattoo covered up. She had an R. Kelly tattoo? Who knew? Her strategy right out the gate seems to be to paint Brown as a fellow victim of Kelly, as someone who couldn't question Kelly for fear of losing his job. I'm going to read this tweet back. These tweets pack a punch. Okay. So you can't even just jump to the next tweet. You got to dig into it. So it says, Leone, who happens to be Milton Brown, R. Kelly's co-defendant, is questioning Jane from the 1998 X tape about the time Milton Brown allegedly took her to get her R. Kelly tattoo covered up. Kathleen Leone, the defense attorney, her strategy right out of the gate seems to paint Milton Brown as a fellow victim of R. Kelly, as someone who couldn't question R. Kelly for fear of losing his job. You're right, Valencia. It is deep. Very, very, very much deep. Let's continue. Y'all, I told you that's why we had to start early. Now you see why we had to start early? Now you see why we had to start early. We had to. We didn't have a choice. We didn't have a choice. You know what I mean? Look, we haven't even gotten. We're only on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're only on the 7th tweet. We're only on the 7th tweet, and there's more. We're only on the 7th tweet. Okay, we'll get to that. If we have time today, we'll get to her interview. If we don't, Neva, then we'll get to her interview on Sunday. Okay, we're gonna do a live show on Sunday so we can investigate this Milton Brown character, R. Kelly's co-defendant. If you just joined us, this is Milton Brown's attorney cross-examining Jane Doe from the 1999 X tape. Okay, let's continue. Kathleen Leone ends her line of questioning for the moment. Now R. Kelly's attorney, Jennifer Bogine, y'all remember her from yesterday, is up. She asks Jane about relationship with Kelly and her testimony in 2002 before the Illinois grand jury when Kelly was indicted on multiple child charges. This is a quote from Bogine. You had an actual relationship with R. Kelly as an adult, correct? Bogine asked Jane. Correct, Jane answers. I'm going to read that again because that's really that's right out the gate. Bogine, right out the gate, Bogine says to the victim, you had an actual relationship with R. Kelly as an adult, correct? Jane answers and says, correct. Now, let's just talk about strategy just for a quick second before I hit to the next slide. It's funny that she brings that up. Like, so if you're a victim of his, why would you continue to have a relationship with him as an adult? You understand what I mean? That's very strategic as a defense attorney to come out with that. That was a power play, right? Let's talk about your relationship with him as an adult, not as a child, as an adult. So you can kind of pivot the jury's brains thinking a little bit. So now the jury has pictured her as an adult. They no longer see her as a child. That's what that's for. It's so the jury can see her as an adult and not as a kid. Like, oh, you both, right? And she answered it. She said, correct. Very strategic, very strategic, very strategic on the defense. Okay, defense, we see you. Okay. y'all trying to y'all trying to free R. Kelly, which you won't be able to free. You just won't be able to extend any more time to his 30-year sentence. But I see you, defense team. Okay, I see you down here. All right. Let's move on to the next slide. Jane alleges that R. Kelly controlled her life as an adult, an assertion that Jean challenges by pointing out that Kelly paid for her college education. What? Obviously, it's hush money, but what? Wow. Let me get to some of your comments. This from Chaplain White says 112 people watching, 32 likes. I watch sometimes and forget to like. I went back and liked so many posts earlier today. Thank you very much, Chaplain White. We appreciate that. You guys smash that like button. 125 of you in the building. The building's only going to get bigger later on and you'll forget. So smash the like button now. Help a sister out while she reads you this hot tea. Okay. While I read you this hot tea, honey. Thank you. And I know a lot of you are at work, so don't worry about smashing it if you're at work, okay? Let's continue. Jean digging into Jane's family relationship with R. Kelly, including her father continuing musical collaborations with Kelly, even following his 2002 indictment for the Leak X tape that allegedly features Jane. Not her daddy still working with the man. Not her daddy still working with him. Yo, daddy. Wow. I'm just looking at the tweet. That's just, I was speechless. Like, I'm just speechless. Like, I'm legit speechless at this. This whole thing is a ghetto mess. Now, yesterday we talked about how there are people who sit here and protect these type of individuals and break bread with them during the holidays. And it's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. I want to get some of your comments. Ebony No Ivory. What's up, Ebony No Ivory? Said straight betrayal. That's right. This is from Brenna Love. Hey, Brenna Love says they all were trying to get as much money as they could, no matter who they had to, you know, I can't say that word, to get it. You're right. Absolutely. Danny M says everyone's parents, including, need to join him. Not behind bars, honey, under the jail. If I had to make a suggestion, I'd say put them underneath it. Crazy. It's just strange fruit, man. Let's move on. Jean now pointing out that Jane asked R. Kelly to come celebrate her 34th birthday. Now, I understand be traumatized. This is not to blame the victim. It's not to blame the victim. Because she's clearly traumatized by this man. So, you just in your head you try to play it as different scenarios as to why you keep a connecting relationship. Again, because in the Black community, that's what we just can't get over beside ourselves, and we have to just get rid of that uncle. Okay. It's the simple fact that she didn't have, this is the part that's concerning to me, is not her behavior. Her behavior is standard trauma bonding. Okay. The problem that really ruffles my petticoats, if you will, is the fact that she had no one to lean on to talk to it about. And so she maintained a relationship with him. That's the part that gets me. That's the part that gets me. So she had no one in her life who she could lean on, no therapist, no one to talk to. Her father sold her up the river just to get credits on an album that I'm sure her mother is still getting royalties from. It's the sheer fact that she had to lean on to just staying in contact with him, because that is how we operate in the Black community. That's the part that's hurtful. It's not her, because most people would look at that and be like, see, she wasn't abused. No, yes, she was. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. Without a doubt, she was. You understand what I mean? That's why. That's why Aaliyah didn't say anything. That's why Aaliyah literally took her marriage to her grave, because of trauma bonding. She didn't have anyone in her life who she could discuss that with. So she died knowing that she was taken advantage of by R. Kelly. You understand what I mean? So people always look at Aaliyah like, oh, Aaliyah, she wanted it. She da 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 da. No, she just had no one in her life who she could turn to. That's why. And the same for this Jane Doe. The same thing. So she contacts him. So people look at this, and I just want you guys to just, anybody who comes in here trying to support R. Kelly, just open your brain and realize that like the human brain is so complex. It's one of the most complex things ever created by nature. You understand? And so this is a product of trauma bonding. This tweet up here at the top, that is a product of trauma bonding. That's not a product of, no, she wasn't abused. No, she did it. No, that's a product of trauma bonding. And it's sad to read. It's just like this girl literally asked him to celebrate her 34th birthday after he urinated on her. That's crazy. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. Let's continue. I'm sorry. This is just wild. Bo Jean's strategy seems to be to paint Jane as being disingenuous in her claims yesterday that she was manipulated and by R. Kelly by highlighting her adult relationship with him through the 2010s. Dave apologizes because he had to step away for a minute. Now he continues. Jean, now discussing Jane's reluctance to speak with law enforcement about her alleged abuse with R. Kelly, hands alleged at R. Kelly's hands prior to this trial. Jane rebuts and says, I no longer wanted to carry his lies. I no longer wanted to carry his lies. Good for you. Good for you, Jane. Jane says, I no longer wanted to carry his lies. Interestingly enough, I would wonder when her father passed away. You know what I mean? I feel like she probably maintained the relationship with R. Kelly and just kind of staying silent and quiet because of the work her father did for him. So I wonder if she decided to come forward after her father passed away. Why the parents not charged for contributing to a minor? No idea. Valencia says yes, she was. Mm-hmm. Z Bradley says maybe they think R. Kelly will enjoy the tapes. I don't know. No idea. Let's continue, y'all. We got to discuss. I want to hear from you guys though. So just keep commenting. I know it's a lot. You're taking in a lot. That's why the comments are moving so slow. You guys are probably like mouth to the floor. But I do want to hear from you. So make sure you keep commenting and smash the like button, you guys. I appreciate it. If you can. Dave continues and says, this is from Bojin, you told an assistant state attorney that you didn't know if R. Kelly had relations with young ladies. Bojin says, claiming that she caught Jane in a lie between the trial and her statement preceding it. Let me read that. Bojin says, you told an assistant state attorney that you didn't know if R. Kelly had relations with young girls. Because yesterday, if you were here yesterday, and I encourage you to watch the video yesterday, I edited it down so it's not as long because it got taken down. So I had to edit it down. But Jane, the alleged victim, stated that she had introduced R. Kelly to a girl named Pinky, who was underage at the time, and he also had a relationship with her. So now R. Kelly's attorney is basically saying that, well, first you said that you didn't know if he was dealing with other women, and now you're saying that he was dealing with your friend Pinky. So what is it? He's basically trying to catch her up in a lie. Interesting. Let's continue. Jane admits that she made false statements to the U.S. Attorney's Office. R. Kelly's attorney says, you made a false statement to the U.S. Attorney's Office. R. Kelly didn't tell you to tell that lie. You told that lie. The alleged victim said yes. She agrees with R. Kelly's attorney. And I'm going to repeat that if you guys didn't hear me. Jane admits that she made false statements to the U.S. Attorney's Office. R. Kelly's attorney says, and I quote, you made a false statement to the U.S. Attorney's Office. R. Kelly didn't tell you to tell that lie. You told that lie. The victim states, yes, agreeing with R. Kelly's attorney. R. Kelly's attorney asked if Jane, the victim, will seek restitution if R. Kelly is convicted in this trial. Jane says she hasn't decided yet if she wants restitution. R. Kelly's attorney alleges that Jane knew she could ask for restitution if she wanted to, but before Jane, the victim, can respond, prosecutors called for a sidebar. Now that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I did not know that. There's a lot of factors going on here. There's a lot of factors going on here. Did she? So why hasn't she decided if she's going to ask for restitution? Maybe she didn't want to say it under oath because she didn't want it to seem like she was after money. That's why she said she hadn't decided. No, this is for this case. So April Bibb says her parents probably got the restitution. No, this is Jane Doe's first time testifying in court. She testified in a grand jury back in 2002. Okay. But it never went to trial because she had lied under oath at the grand jury. Because she just was young. She was protecting R. Kelly. She didn't want to tell the truth. So she's never actually testified in court, nor has she ever sued him in civil court. But this case, because it deals with a child act, then she is allowed to sue for restitution after the fact, depending on the conviction. So I just don't think she wants to take it off the table. So she's never gotten restitution for this case. She can't go to jail for lying. There's a statute of limitations, and more than likely she was a minor at the time she testified under oath. So they're not going to come after a minor 20 years past statute of limitations for lying under oath. You know what I mean? Like, you understand what I'm trying to say? It just seems futile. And the federal government's got a lot more. The federal government has got a lot more on their plate than a teen girl lying under oath. You understand what I mean? You can't get immunity. She wasn't commissioning a crime, you guys. She was the victim of one. You can only get immunity if you help facilitate or commission a crime. And prosecutors know that if they don't give you something, you're the only person who could put the prosecutor's case together. So the prosecutors in some cases will give you immunity because they know that you're really the glue that holds that case together. But she wasn't she wasn't committing a crime. She was, you guys, come on. Mrs. Blue says, but would the limitation work in his favor too? The statute of limitations? Yeah, if the original prosecutors back in 2002 had gone after it, but they didn't know. They just thought, listen, so there's a difference. So when a grand jury convenes, a grand jury is convened, it's comprised of like 12 or 24 attorneys who go over the evidence and determine if the prosecutor can initiate an indictment. That's what a grand jury is. So a grand jury is not like jury, trial, judge, hammer. It's a little, one of the first steps in the court proceedings. So the first step would be the crime happens. The second step would be the prosecutor gets assigned. The third step is the prosecutor collects the evidence. The fourth step is the prosecutor presents the evidence to a grand jury. The sixth step, whatever step we're on, then the grand jury convenes and decides that if there's enough evidence to issue a indictment, and that indictment is the seventh step, which issues the warrant, which goes to the sheriff, and then the warrant is executed, and then everything else you guys know. Okay, so she was at the third step where she was at the grand jury, so she never got to the after effect. There was no warrant issue, no indictment issue, none of that. So she was only at the first step, and she lied in the grand jury convenes. So now when the grand jury convenes, they are allowed to take in witnesses to help the grand jury decide if this case should be, understand what I mean? If the case should go further and have an indictment issued. Hope that explains that. This is from April Bibbs. She says, do you think R. Kelly was giving the parents money? Heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Let's continue. I think we're almost done, you guys. Nope. I'm lying. Okay, here we go. Kesh said, the proof is in the tapes. Ain't no amount of questioning that would change my mind as a juror. I don't know, y'all. Those tapes are 20 years old. And I saw like I didn't see a clip of them, but when, what's it called? On, what's that? Surviving R. Kelly, they played like a little clip of it. Because I had to rewatch, because I had to get a foundational understanding. I was like, I don't know it's so grainy, y'all. It's VHS. Okay, it was a different time for us. Okay, let's begin. So Bogine asked if Jane will seek restitution. We got to that part. Jane says she asked for an immunity deal for herself and her parents prior to trial for them not being truthful in 2008. I just wanted to make sure they were protected, being truthful going forward, Jane says. Ooh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. She was why would she ask for immunity? Oh, because her parents knew. Got you. Okay, so she asked for immunity because her parents knew then. Okay, because I keep forgetting this is up on the screen so you guys can read it before I get to it. I want to preface this by saying I haven't read any of this, so I'm reading it in real time. I have not read none of these. So if you guys read them before I get to them, then I apologize. So yes, that's weird that she would ask for immunity, but maybe she didn't understand, like, oh, I needed immunity, but she didn't realize you're a victim. You wouldn't get immunity. Now, if your parents knew, now they would need immunity. Ooh, wee, honey. She's admitting her parents knew. So this tweet is cut off, but I'm going to read it for you. The tweet says, and this is from Bogine, looking back, you think Sparkle pushed you on R. Kelly? Jane said yes. Bogine mentions that Sparkle tweeted last night accusing Jane of lying on the stand. Prosecution objects over Bogine bringing in outside statements. Hold up. Sparkle tweeted last night. Now, mind you guys, this was today. Hold up, y'all. I got to get to Sparkle. Hold up now. Can I just show y'all this tweet first and then we'll get, hold on, let me show you this tweet. I have to show you this tweet. It's just hilarious. Somebody says, hold on, I'm about to read it to you. Somebody says, what kind of auntie pimps out her niece? And Sparkle lied on Lifetime. She said she never had with R. Kelly in real life, I think in RL, said that she had with him at the time. What kind of mess is that? See, I told y'all. That's why I went back to go rewatch it. Because Sparkle was lying. I told you. Sparkle said that she didn't. She never mentioned she was in a relationship with R. Kelly. Ever. She only said that she was an artist. I knew she was. Come on, man. Let's get to the Sparkle tweet. Where's Sparkle at? Come to the front. I hope she didn't delete it. She did, honey. She didn't tweet it. She went on IG and said it. Okay, so here's what Sparkle had to say. I'm gonna pull it up and we're gonna read it together. Child, Sparkle needs to. She need to stop. Let me put her picture up while I read this. Okay, so I'm gonna read this. This is from our good auntie Sparkle. Sparkle says, absolutely not. I can't help the lies told on me under oath at that. Cause your mama, my sister, mad at me for speaking the truth in SRK, Surviving R. Kelly, for their horrible parenting. My song Open Letter cause y'all were forced to testify. Absolutely not. I cannot help the lies told on me under oath at all. Cause your mama mad at me because y'all were forced to testify. Of course she deleted it. Of course she deleted it. Can you hear me? Of course she deleted it. Of course she did. I don't want to get demonetized, so I'm going to reserve what I have to say for her on the after show on TikTok. I'm going to reserve what I got to say to Sparkle on TikTok. And now I don't care if my TikTok live gets taken down. I could care less, but this is the machine that pays for our show. So we'll get to Sparkle. We'll get to Sparkle later. Okay, we'll get to Sparkle later. All right, let's just get back to the stream because there's just a lot to go over. Hold on one second. I think we were here. Here? Oh, we read all of those. Are we here? I think we're here. Looking back. Some of these are not in order, you guys. They should be in order, though. Okay, here we go. And we're going to read this because this was the tweet that was cut off. I already read it, but I'm going to read it again. So Bogine again, if you just joined us, is R. Kelly's attorney cross-examining the victim from the 1998 X tape. Looking back, you think Sparkle pushed you on to R. Kelly? Jane responds and says, yes. Bogine mentions that Sparkle tweeted last night accusing Jane of lying on the stand. Prosecution objects over Bogine bringing in outside statements. If you guys can, please smash that like button. You testified your parents didn't know about your relationship with R. Kelly until this meeting at the hotel, but your parents were actually the subject of a DCFS investigation in 2000, R. Kelly's attorney says. They asked me if it was true, and I said no, Jane says. The presiding judge, Weber, has called for a 15-minute recess, R. Kelly's federal trial in Chicago. And now that they've taken a recess, let us take a recess. Okay, and then I want to get to seeing your comments. I just want to talk for a minute because I'm trying not to cuss out Spark. I'm seriously trying not to. It's taking everything in my spirit to not say anything mean or defamatory. Now, I just want to add that we will be back in like 2 seconds because we've got a lot more tweets to cover. Okay, we have a lot. We have one, two, three, four. We have five more slides, but we have a lot more tweets to cover. Um, Sparkle needs to stop. She needs to stop. Sparkle needs to stop. Okay. I don't know what has gotten into her. I don't know what she's. I don't know what is happening. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm gonna test my volume real quick. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm gonna test my volume real quick. Okay. Good. It sounds good. But it's crazy. While we're sitting here taking our quick break, let's go to some of the tweets because I really do want to read some of the tweets from people going in on Sparkle. This one says the fallacy of Sparkle's. I'm gonna read that. I'll put my phone up and then I'll read them out loud. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me get it correct. It says the fallacy's entire argument is that if the niece is lying on her because they were forced to testify, why would you also include her mom and dad in the testimony? Wouldn't she place the blame squarely on Sparkle? No, it's an interesting question. This tweet is a bit confusing. So I'm going to read it because I don't really know where this person is. I think they might have been smoking when they did this. They says, I cannot believe that Sparkle is under attack. This is how I know y'all forgot about the minor R. Kelly on. That is Sparkle's niece. She testified against R. Kelly years ago. Her niece and parents received jobs and money from R. Kelly for years. The niece was in love with him. R. Kelly is ick. Are you supporting Sparkle or not? Anderson Hardy said, "Oop, not Auntie trying to cover her up." That's what I'm saying, honey. That's what I'm trying to say. Just weird. Mm. Someone said the testimony from Sparkle's niece really has my spirit troubled. So many girls traumatized by the man, and all the men and women who are around her are complicit. So many people failed these young women. I couldn't agree more. Because what is going on, honey? Um, what is going on? What is going on? Ooh, child. Here's the tweet. The neighborhood talk actually caught it. I don't know why I didn't catch it. I thought because I was about to say I know more people should be talking about this story. This from Kyle at the neighborhood talk. He says Sparkle says that. Hold on, y'all know I can't read backward. Sparkle says that her niece is being controlled by her mom to take Sparkle down due to years of family feuding. To testify that I had my niece sit on Robert's lap, rub his head, and ask to be his godfather is an absolute lie. Sparkle, uh, be quiet. This is from Deneen Hunter says, I remember on the R. Kelly documentary, Sparkle said that her sister was not speaking to her and her family was upset with her. That's why she did it. She was trying to clear her name. This is what I think. Okay. Let me just put my phone down. This is what my assessment is about Sparkle and the family feuding. I think that the family was culpable. They were getting money, they were getting royalties, they were getting all kinds of stuff from R. Kelly, basically hush money. And they didn't want Sparkle to do the documentary because they didn't want Sparkle to basically just kind of dry the well up, if so to speak. I think Sparkle did it because she wasn't getting a cut of the money, and two, she wanted to actually try to clear her name. that entire, you guys, I rewatched it back. I played it back. I watched it back. Sparkle never mentions her relationship with R. Kelly, not one time. You would think that would be an integral part of the interview process. Because they could have sat down with 25 different recording artists. What was she? Who was she? You know? Come on. Is it Anissa? Anissa Allen says, yes, in the documentary, Sparkle says she tried to bring it to attention that the child in the video was her niece. And then they said the parents and the child came in and said it wasn't her. I agree. Oh, you don't agree. Jasmine Hickson agrees. Yeah, like what the heck is going on? What is going on? Like Wu Child, the actual ghetto, okay? The ghetto. Somebody tweeted and said, I'll read it for you guys here. Somebody actually tweeted this and said, I hate reading it backwards, but it says, I will say Sparkle, her niece, his way. She said her aunt told her to sit on the lap, etc. Like what? Shame on Sparkle. Seriously, shame on Sparkle. Let's get back into these tweets, honey, because let's go. We're going back to court. Let's go. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, where do we leave off? Okay, here we go. Here we are. All right. So let's continue. We're back in session. We had our nice little recess. Let's get back into these tweets, you guys. So back to David Barnes, our court reporter. David Barnes says R. Kelly's trial is back in session in Chicago. Kelly's defense attorney, Jennifer Bosheen, is still cross-examining the victim, the alleged victim. Mr. Barnes says, you didn't want the relationship to end, and you didn't want your parents to get in trouble for anything. You didn't want R. Kelly to get in trouble for anything, correct? This is from Bosheen, R. Kelly's attorney, referring to when the alleged tape, correct? Jane says. I'm going to repeat that back. Bosheen says to the victim, you didn't want the relationship to end. You didn't want your parents to get in trouble for anything. You didn't want R. Kelly to get in trouble for anything, correct? And Jane says, correct. Bosheen says Jane wanted to have a relationship with R. Kelly despite the alleged tape getting out. You did have a future relationship with him. You ended up being with him for another 10 years, Bosheen says. Jane confirms that. Wow. Wow. I got to read that back. I'm sorry. Bosheen says Jane wanted to have a relationship with R. Kelly despite the alleged X tape getting out. Bosheen says you did have a future relationship. You ended up being in a relationship with him for 10 years. And Jane confirms that, yes. That's crazy. Let me get to the comment section, okay? I know y'all shocked because y'all not saying nothing. So I know y'all are literally shook, child. I'm shook for y'all. Okay. Y'all just sitting down. I'm like, this is the quietest you guys have ever been. I know. I don't even fault you guys for not saying nothing. Just sit back and listen, okay? Let's get to the next slide. All right. Jane admits she testified untruthfully in 2002, fearing the repercussions she or her parents might have suffered if she said it was her on the alleged X tape. Bosheen digging into Jane's immunity deal with federal prosecutors, no lead directly or indirectly deprived I think he meant from the information you provided can be used against you in a criminal prosecution, Bosheen says, which Jane confirmed. So Jane actually did get immunity. I don't know why she would get immunity. Why would prosecutors give a minor immunity? Let's just Fix my hood. Let's continue. Jane says R. Kelly told her parents not to work after the alleged X tape leaked, but Bogine questions that. She points out that Kelly's 2002 indictment didn't go to trial until 2008, which during which times her parents did in fact go back to work. I wonder why R. Kelly told them not to go back to work. I don't know. Moving on to the tapes themselves, Bogine questions if it was really Crystal that I'm sorry, I got to reread that because did he say the victim's name? Okay. So moving on the tapes themselves, Bogine questions if it was really Crystal that a 14-year-old Jane allegedly drank in the tapes. Oh, Crystal. I'm sorry, Crystal. Let me reread that, okay, you guys. I apologize. So, moving on to the tapes themselves, Bogine questions if it was really Crystal. Crystal, if you don't know, is champagne that the 14-year-old Jane allegedly drank in the tapes. She brings up the possibility that it may have been water or another non-alcoholic drink, but Jane asserts that it was champagne. Sorry about that. I had to pause my microphone because my Alexa is over here snitching on me. Sorry. Sorry, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's move on. We're on to the next slide. Bogine is also bringing up that Jane has received Section 8 housing benefits with the assistance of federal prosecutors. No, no, ain't no way in the world federal prosecutors should be handling anything that happens in the Department of Urban Development under HUD. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm sorry. Ain't no way, y'all. I believe her, but I'm saying this ain't no way prosecutor's supposed to be helping you get Section 8. It's immunity is one thing, right? But they was really going to bat for her. Federal prosecutors, that what are federal prosecutors doing, dabbling into getting you Section 8 vouchers? That is 100% unequivocally highly, not only is it illegal, but it's inappropriate for federal prosecutors to be calling up the Department of HUD and asking them Section 8, because Section 8 vouchers, you guys, only come from the government. They are divvied up to the states, but it's not a state funded program. It is a federally funded program. Immunity is one thing, but you out here getting her Section 8 vouchers? That's not good. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and be like, well, there's no well. We can't be out here cutting the line because we're trying to secure a case. That's a bribe. That is a bribe. That is a bribe. Immunity is one thing because I don't understand how they get. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why would federal prosecutors tell a victim, hey, we found this X tape and we think that your child's on it? So, in turn, we're going to give you and your child immunity. What does the child need immunity for? What does she do? What would the child need immunity for? Was it the prosecutor scaring them? You understand what I mean? Or was it the prosecutors trying to bribe them, saying, you're not going to get in trouble. We're going to give you, why would you give a child immunity when the child is a child? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I can understand them giving the parents immunity. Okay, we could deal with them later. But why would you give the child immunity? Make it make sense. Was the prosecutors trying to scare her? And then the prosecutors get a Section 8 voucher. What? We got to continue, y'all. I didn't know. Again, I'm gonna say this one more time. I want to take these out, but I don't think my hair's dry enough yet. I'm gonna say this one more time. I didn't read any of these, so I'm reading them with you. So let's continue. At a lull now, as Bogine, I think that's a typo, but because Twitter, you can't edit it. At a lull now, as Bogine searches through her notes for the next line of questioning in Kelly's federal case in Chicago. There's like a little pause break while the attorney gathers herself, because honey, she not playing. She brought the punches. The next line of questioning involves a series of text messages between Jane and Assistant State Attorney Angel. Is it Cruel? Angel Cruel, regarding Jane's pregnancy. Apologies for the former tweet that said the tweets were between Jane and R. Kelly. I misheard Cruel as Kelly. That's okay. We forgive you, Mr. David Barnes. Bogine points out that Cruel, who happens to be the Assistant State Attorney General, had saved as Boss Baby on his phone. Also says to Jane, you were provided by the U.S. Attorney's Office with travel to and from Florida, which Jane confirms. Bogine points out that the Assistant State Attorney had Jane saved as Boss Baby in her phone. Why did she save her as Boss Baby? That's weird. What's on my lip? Why did she have her saved as Boss Baby? Let's just move on. Maybe there's some more clues in the next slide. Get over to the next slide. Wow, this is a long one. Bogine also says Cruel, who is the Assistant State Attorney, allowed Jane to get out of Dodge by paying for her to get to Florida. Jane confirms this, but also says getting out of town was as much of her personal safety as anything else while the surviving R. Kelly docuseries was being filmed. With Bogine, with that, her questioning, prosecutors come back in for a follow-up. Jane says again that it was R. Kelly who told her to keep quiet about the relationship when she was 15 or 16. Prosecutors asked Jane where she was staying during R. Kelly's 2008 trial, to which she answered hotels. Jane wasn't supposed to be seen with Kelly during the trial, Jane says. So she was still seeing R. Kelly during the 2008? During the 2008 trial? Wild. Jane again confirms that she had multiple encounters with R. Kelly when she was 14, 15, and 16, and with that, prosecution finish its follow-up questions with Jane, and Jane is off of the stand for today. Wow. Let's get to our last slide and then we can talk. This is the last slide from our good friend Dave. I'm also going to wrap up my coverage of R. Kelly's federal trial for the day. Other reporting still to get to the Cook County Courthouse. In Chicago, they call it Crook County. because everybody in Cook County is crooked. But I will still be covering the trial intermittently over the next few weeks with live tweets and full stories. Wow. I want to hear from y'all. This is the last slide. I can hear from y'all. Wow. Sparkle, prosecutors saving the victim as boss baby, giving her Section 8 vouchers. Child, it's not looking good, honey. It's not looking good. Margaret said, oh, Lord, was she recruiting? Who is she and who's recruiting? Keisha J said, seems like Jane was seeing him up until he went to jail 3 years ago. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. 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 She invited, and remember, when she was 34 years old 3 years ago, the victim Jane actually invited R. Kelly to her birthday party, which again sounds like trauma bonding, but like, wow, this is a doozy. This is from Kira. Kira says, of course she was recruiting. She took her Aunt Sparkle's old job. Oh, you mean that recruiting? You think she was recruiting for R. Kelly like Sparkle was? My camera's actually up here. Wow. Was Jane recruiting? I don't know, but that would be wild. That would be wild as all heck. That would be wild as all heck. Funny enough, somebody actually sent me this story about, what's her name? I forget what her name is. I can't find the image. It's from Joycelyn Savage, says she was impregnated by R. Kelly. R. Kelly's attorneys and R. Kelly denies that she's pregnant by him. And Joycelyn Savage is stating that it's through in vitro fertilization. Is Joycelyn crazy? Is Joycelyn crazy, or we just all we're just on the consensus that she's just a nut? Why would she want that? She could get child support from his estate. That'd be as wild. She reminds me of Krishan. Sounds like she's crazy as heck. Absolutely she is. Because where'd you get the semen from? Where, Joycelyn? Where did you get it from? Where did you get it from? Because I'm very curious just to know where you got it from. And this. What is this? What is this? I can't wait for the after show. I can't wait for the after show. I cannot wait for the after show. I'm gonna eat Sparkle up. I'm gonna eat Sparkle up. I'm gonna eat Sparkle up on the after show. I'm gonna eat her up, man. I'm telling you, man. I ain't never wanted to go after somebody so bad. Now, if you guys remember, yes, if you were on the after show yesterday, we were talking about those red pill guys, those Kevin Samuelites. And I don't even go hard after them. I don't even go hard after Glow J, the guy, the TikToker who has 2 million followers, who essentially scammed a homeless woman out of $20,000. I didn't even go in on Glow J's like that. I'm gonna go in on Sparkle tonight, honey, because yeah, I don't believe her. I never did. I never believed Sparkle. I didn't believe her. The first episode of Surviving R. Kelly, without a shadow of a doubt, I said, the first thought I had when I watched it the first time a few years ago, I said, she knew. She definitely knew. She definitely knew, in my opinion. I said, she knows. Someone needs to tear into her. Oh, child, I'm gonna read her for filth tonight on the after show. I'm not even going. I am gonna hold y'all. I am going to read her for filth because I'm just about sick of her, and because hit dogs holler, hit dogs holler, hit dogs. She's brown like me, says, I see that it's negative $2 million. What's negative $2 million? Bougie said, I watched the documentary with my husband. The first, he said she was lying. Your husband said that? Just Bougie that she was lying? Because she is. I don't care what no one says. She lying. Nikki Williams said, so R. Kelly got away with, well, that comment is definitely going to get blocked for the last 20 years, correct? Alicia Harris says, just joined. I'm late. Oh, sorry, Alicia. We're still on the show. We started early today because we did have a lot of slides to go through. We had a lot of slides to go through, but we're going to be here for a while because we're going to be talking about this story. There's some other news that I want to get to. If you just joined us here on YouTube, you can actually rewind the live and you can watch it from the beginning. So if I don't know if you guys know that, but if you're new to YouTube, you can actually just take the live like this and you can rewind it back like that. So they have the actual feature on the live and you can play it forwards and backwards just like that right there. If you see, I'm sorry, I'm trying to point under it. So if you see me pointing under it, you can do that. So just so you guys know in the future, like don't ever think that you came late. You didn't come late. You're right on time and you can watch the live anytime while we're live. You don't have to watch it from the beginning. I encourage you to because it helps support the show, but child, we talking about everybody today. It's Friday. We started early. We started at 3 o'clock today. Everybody seems to be in the building today. So, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Okay? Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Child. Woo child. I can't believe Sparkle. I want to go back to Twitter. Can we go back to Twitter and can we read some of the tweets that people are saying about Sparkle? Because I really have to read them. Not Sparkle blocking somebody on Twitter. Child, I don't need to get blocked by nobody else. I don't need to get blocked by no one else, but not Sparkle out here blocking people. The woman she blocked says, Chicken blocked me because I said what her niece said about her in court. And you didn't lie. You did not lie at all, honey. You did not lie. Don't let Sparkle scare you. Somebody else named by the name of Bella Goth said, Sparkle's so trash. She groomed her darn niece and allowed R. Kelly to take advantage of her niece. This is disgusting. I couldn't agree with you more. Sparkle needs to come to court. I don't know why she didn't get a subpoena for this case. Let me ask you guys that though. Let me ask you this. Do you guys think Sparkle is going to do you guys think that Sparkle is gonna have to testify in this case? Because she did date R. Kelly, so she might have to actually testify. I didn't even think about that, but like she might have to actually testify. This is from Since Day One, said R. Kelly's goddaughter Jane, questioned by R. Kelly's attorney. Sparkle responds to her niece Jane and says that it's a effing lie. We know that. This is from Nakishi says, wasn't a relationship, but when the niece started sleeping with R. Kelly, she got mad and leaked the X tape. Sounds like some effed up family drama behind the scenes. Do you guys think that? So we never actually got to the point of like, now we know the X tape. That's what we're saying. Just say X tape, okay, you guys? If you're gonna say the word, just say X tape. So we know the X tape exists. Who do you guys think leaked it? Because it was VHS. So remember, this is a different time, you guys. So we're talking about 1998 when it got leaked. Who do you think leaked it? It was a VHS. In order to be able to, you guys, this is a different time. Okay, so if you're a little older or if you're a little younger here, in order to be able to leak a VHS tape, honey, you have to actually have the physical VHS. They said his brother leaked it. No, I don't think his brother leaked it. I don't think his brother will be anywhere in the vicinity of his home to leak it. This is from Kira said, I don't think so. Prosecutors already stretched thin, giving away immunity and housing. Not the prosecution giving away immunity and housing vouchers. This is from Nikki Williams said, the rumor was that Sparkle leaked it. Do y'all honestly think that Sparkle leaked that tape? Yeah, that's my question. Who leaked it? It said Sparkle in one of the tweets. Yeah, but that's a tweet. But I'm just saying, like, if we had to speculate, because remember, it's a imagine this as the VHS tape. It's a VHS tape. This is my garbage can for my desk. So imagine a VHS tape. In order to leak a VHS to make multiple copies, you have to have the physical one. So somebody had to physically know where it was. Someone had to know where it was in order to leak it. R. Kelly wouldn't have done that. He would have never set himself up like that. So we know for a fact he didn't do it. Maybe it was Sparkle. Her career was going down the drain, so maybe Sparkle leaked the X tape because she wanted to make money off of it, because people don't leak those tapes, you guys. That tape got leaked to like a big profile production, a P word production company, Pushing P production company. And so it got leaked to a Pushing P production company, and I'm sure the person who leaked it got paid really well, because the production company never checked to see if everyone in the tape was consenting. You understand what I mean? A woman scorned. Keisha J says, I think the bodyguard leaked it. Anybody who I guess who had access to his home. Dr. Nikki Yaya, what's up, Nikki? Said the brother. I don't think it was the brother, but it could have been. It could have been, you guys. Strange fruit out here, and stranger things have happened. She's brown like me says, I don't think Sparkle would leak the tape. That would mess with her money. That is true. That is true. I don't know, but I'm very curious as to who. Smash the like button, you guys. Thank you for 182 of you in the building. Thank you very much. You can see my gray showing. Wow. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Nellie Now says, in Surviving R. Kelly, the person who leaked said she stole the tape and gave it to someone on his team to hold. Metal Alchemist said, just heard Barry Hankerson threatened to do so allegedly. Who's Barry Hankerson? Also, too, tonight we actually have to investigate that Milton guy. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this image up. Milton Brown. Oh, I got his picture. Y'all want to see it? Okay, I'm gonna put it up. Dum dum dum. Okay, hold on, you guys. You're gonna hear a couple of beeps, but don't be alarmed. It's just my MacBook. If it decides to work. I don't know what is going on, honey. Let's go. Yeesh. My phone is being I downloaded the iPhone 6 beta testing, so it's kind of wonky, but it's really nice. Okay. Hold on. Okay, you're gonna hear some more bongs. It's just my phone. I think my hair is dry enough. I'm gonna take it down while I get this image up, okay? And then I'm gonna get to your comments. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna move this over. Where'd that image go? Okay, well, I lost the image. Crud. I'm just kidding. I could find it. There we go. Here we go. There's this guy. This is Milton Brown. Okay, give me a second. Let it load. Okay, this guy. This is Milton. This is Milton Brown. This is R. Kelly's co-defendant. Michelle Duncan says at 5420 mark, it's on the bottom. On the bottom of what? Alchemist said Aaliyah's uncle. That's Aaliyah's. Y'all stop lying. This is not Aaliyah's uncle. This is not y'all lying. Y'all, I don't believe y'all. I don't believe y'all. I don't believe you guys. If you're a liar, get out of the chat immediately. This is not Aaliyah uncle. I don't believe you. It can't be a family affair. It cannot be a family affair. If you're lying, get out. Get out. Get out. I'm what is going on? So not only did this person sell his niece, this cannot be real. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. He owned the rights to all her music. This guy did. Milton Brown. Uh, Jennifer Graham says she met R. Kelly from her uncle sharing her talents. Wow. What's up, Taurus season? So her uncle and mom, Aaliyah, got her the co-track with Kelly. Wow. I'm just shocked. I did not know, y'all. Wow. I did not know. I literally did not know. I didn't know. I did not know this was Aaliyah's uncle, R. Kelly's co-defendant. If you just joined us, you probably already know who this gentleman is. He happens to be R. Kelly's co-defendant in his trial, and apparently Aaliyah, the slain R&B singer of the '90s, her uncle. Also, it's not Aaliyah's uncle. Barry's her uncle. So who is Aaliyah to this guy? Ooh, this too much. This is from My Umami. Said, watch it to be the maid and the housekeeper. Right. No, Barry Hankerson. Okay, but this is Milton Brown. Okay, so this is not her uncle. Okay, thank God, because I was about to say Jesus Christ. Okay, not my retraction, not her uncle. But this is Milton Brown, R. Kelly's co-defendant and his ex-assistant. You said, I'm in Chicago. What's up, Goddess Ladybug? I'm in Chicago. Chicago, literally, somebody driving by with R. Kelly playing loud. Oh, they trifling. Listen, I'm not a proponent of listening to R. Kelly, but I'm just saying, like, have some dignity. Just close the windows. Michelle Duncan said, go back to the live, Steph. You guys, I cannot go back in my own live. I'm sorry if I don't know if you guys know that or not, but I can't rewind the live. Only you guys can. She says her aunt leaked it. Oh, you mean in the text, in the tweets? She says she leaked it. Hey, lucky lady, how you doing? You mean in the tweets? She said she leaked it. Is what I'm asking. Brunch Bessie says, imagine thinking you got a dream job of working for R. Kelly and you end up in. Imagine you got a dream job being the assistant to R. Kelly and then you're in federal court fighting for your literal life. So my professor, when I was in college, my professor, she goes by the name of Katrina Sifrid, and she's a professor, so there's no doxing a professor. She goes by the name of Katrina Sifrid, and she actually worked for the governor of Chicago at the time. What was that one governor's name? Hold on. I forget what his name is. Blagojevich. So she actually worked for Rob Blagojevich. He was the governor of Chicago. He was the one who ended up getting arrested for selling Barack Obama's senatorial seat which is a long story. So she worked for Blagojevich, and she said she had applied for a job as a professor at Elmhurst University. And she stated that he was up for reelection, and a couple of her colleagues were like, "Oh, we're going to stay, we'll stick around for the next administration if he wins." My professor at the time said, "No, I think I'm going to take the job at Elmhurst." She said, like, that same month, the feds came in and raided his office and arrested her friend. Her friend ended up getting out of it, but who wants to be arrested in the first place? Arrested her friend, a bunch of other staffers, and Blagojevich for bribery and selling Barack Obama's senatorial seat. I said, thank God you took the job at Elmhurst. Could you imagine? Being a professor who has a PhD in philosophy as well as a Juris Doctorate, and I believe she passed the bar exam. So having all of those credentials snatched away from you because you just decided to take the job with Blagojevich, like this guy, I don't know if he's guilty or innocent, but he definitely is fighting for his life. But there's no way you could be I don't think you can be an assistant for R. Kelly for all those years, and just not know what was going on. There's no way. There's no way. You know what I mean? It's impossible. You just can't be like, I just don't know what's going on. I had no idea he was diddling stuff. Come on, you knew something. You did have access to his phones and his home and his credit card statements, and you saw the people coming in and out of the studio. You knew something. You may not have known everything, but you definitely knew something, enough to tell. Like, you do enough where you should have probably like alerted the police. You know what I mean? So the fact that you didn't alert the police simply because you wanted to keep your job, that seems pretty disingenuous, Mr. Brown. Allegedly. Angela Smith said, selling a seat to Jay Jackson's son. I don't know who he was selling the seat to. Honestly, I don't know who he was selling the seat to. But if you don't know, the governors actually get to appoint if your senator of your state, your United States senator. Remember, there's only 100 senators in America. If your United States senator moves on and leaves his seat before an election or after an election, and the senatorial seat stays open for some strange reason, the governor of the state gets to fill that seat. It doesn't make sense to me, and I don't know why a U.S. senator seat should only be filled literally by the people, or literally by the Supreme Court, because it's such a higher federal level. But somehow the governors get the power. Well, sometimes governors will have rich friends like, hey, donate to my campaign and I'll let you be a senator, for the next year because the seat is empty. When John McCain here in Arizona died, his seat the governor here was able to let a Republican fill his seat. So it's so funny too that you could just sell the seat. Like a senator could die and his seat could be open for 5 years, and you could just give it to your friend. It doesn't matter. The person does not have to have any affiliation with politics at all. He could be a literal rock. He could be a rock, and the governor could just let a rock be your senator for 5 years. Let me get some of your comments. What's up, Lynn, the photographer? How are you? Michelle Duncan says, it says Jane also confirmed that it was her aunt Sparkle who leaked the tape. That's alleged. So we don't know if Sparkle leaked the tape. Remember, Jane is just under oath. So she has to go based off the assumption. And no evidence has been presented that Sparkle did leak it. So we don't know that. But thank you very much. We don't know who leaked it. Again, Jane can only speculate because obviously Jane didn't leak it. She probably would never have leaked it. We know darn well R. Kelly wouldn't have leaked it, because who would want to have that looming over their head that you're a child essayer? You know what I mean? Because first, when the tape got out, everyone was like, ugh, R. Kelly just, golden showered someone, so that's what was the weird part. Then when people were like, nah, dude, that person in that tape was a child, people were like, what? You know what I mean? So it's one thing to be like, yeah, I give people golden showers. It's another thing to be like, I'm a diddler. So there's no way R. Kelly leaked it. So Jane might be speculating it, but Jane does not know definitively who did it. That's only Jane's speculation. It's my speculation too. Now, I agree with Jane, but again, allegedly, we don't know. Just Bushi said, as a security guard, wouldn't he have access to all the cameras in the property? He was his assistant. He was not his security guard. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Kira Mitchell said, the U.S. government is messier than scripted reality TV. I would love to do political, gossip, but it's like the political gossip to me is just so like it's not like underbelly-ish. It's just like it's not as interesting unless there's like because like people in government, the reason why I don't like government gossip is because you don't get good gossip. Like they only share gossip with the who's who. So you gotta really be like in DC to get it. You understand what I mean? Like you don't get the good like here with all of these stories that we do over here, somebody could just be like, oh, I was the assistant to like Beyonce, and I want to tell my story, and I could get the story. But when it comes to DC gossip, like if you're not a DC insider, you're not getting that story. And it's just like that's kind of unfair because it's like, no, we all deserve that tea. I deserve the tea too. Let's get rid of Mr. Milton here because we don't care enough about him to have him just sitting up on my shoulder blade. We don't care enough about that. Let's go back to a few other of these tweets. I want to go back to some more tweets about Sparkle, you guys, because this story is so interesting to me. This is from Kyrie 504. Kyrie 504 says, "What did Sparkle gain by putting her niece out there like that? A single man and an album that didn't even go platinum." Why would they do her like that? Okay, I'm gonna reread it. Someone said, "What did Sparkle gain by putting her niece out like that? A single and an album that didn't even go platinum. Platinum. Sparkle effed that little girl's life up for. Be careful. She ain't sh. I'm gonna show y'all the tweet. Not the album not going platinum. Not the album not going platinum. Why they do her like that? Someone exposed. Proof Sparkle pimped out her niece to R. Kelly, blah, blah, blah. We read that already. This is from Elaine Michaels. Elaine Michaels says, "Babe, why Sparkle ain't never happy with her sister and her niece's decisions? First, she said that she didn't talk First, she said that she didn't want to talk, and that's the reason why she ain't spoke for years. Now she talking? She mad again? Girl, pack your bags to Chicago, right outside of Illinois." Would you got? I have a video, Sparkle, reading her niece's transcripts from the case from yesterday. Would you like to watch it? Thumbs up in the chat if you want to watch it. Let me hear from you guys because I got to know if y'all alive. I know half y'all at work, but it's Friday. We got to get into this tea. Y'all, we about to come on. Y'all. It's 182 of you in the building. Thank you for smashing that like button. Give me some thumbs. Let me hear. I want to know what y'all want to do. Y'all got to tell me. Y'all got to talk to me because this is going to get quite random. Okay, let's go. Hold on one second. Turn this around. Okay, let's watch.
I don't want to hinder this legal process. I don't. But to testify that I had my niece sit on Robert's lap and rub his head and have her ask him to be her godfather is an absolute fucking lie. You all cannot imagine the hurt that comes from pain caused by the people that you live and are willing to die for. Another lie. Robert and I were never in a romantic relationship. Never. To show you sabotage is a highly priority within them. If Robert and I were in a romantic relationship, you and your mom was cool allowing you to start a relationship with him, again, no right answers for their actions. This journey of mine, I started with the greatest of intentions, and all I've gotten from it is hell. This is not how we were raised, and it has fucked up family names, relationships, and death, allegedly. Enough is enough. I've endured being not believed before, so my niece's false statements don't bother me as much as her mindset and willingness to tell the lies. I'm certain it's from her mom. Certain. But she's now old enough to start bearing some level of responsibility of her actions. I love her more than life itself. So this is all I'm going to say regarding her and her mother. Unless I have to.
Sparkle. The cringe. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Shauna? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ebony No Ivory said, "Why she got to read off the phone though? Somebody lying. Somebody lying." So, were you or were you not in a relationship with Robert Kelly? Stephanie Edwards. That's Sparkle's real name. What's up, YNB? A lot of y'all are late, but we started early. We started about an hour and a half ago. We had to because we had to get through all the receipts. Can we watch? Do you guys mind if we watch that back? Do you guys mind? I'm sorry. I hate to do it to y'all, but we have to watch that back. I'm sorry. We have to watch that back. If everybody just joined us, Sparkle has come to the front and gave us a written statement about her niece testifying in court about her relationship with R. Kelly. So I'm going to turn my mic over here so that that way you guys can hear it. I'm going to prop it up like this, and then I'm going to play it back. Okay, so here we go. And I'm going to make sure I'm out of the frame so you can actually see Sparkle raggedy self lying. Okay, you guys ready?
I don't want to hinder this legal process. I don't. But to testify that I had my niece sit on Robert's lap and rub his head and have her ask him to be her godfather is an absolute fucking lie. You all cannot imagine the hurt that comes from pain caused by the people that you live and are willing to die for. Another lie. Robert and I were never in a romantic relationship. Never. To show you sabotage is a highly priority within them. If Robert and I were in a romantic relationship, you and your mom was cool allowing you to start a relationship with him? Again, no right answers for their actions. This journey of mine, I started with the greatest of intentions, and all I've gotten from it is hell. This is not how we were raised, and it has fucked up family names, relationships, and death, allegedly.
Oh.
Enough is enough. I've endured being not believed before, so my niece's false statements don't bother me as much as her mindset and willingness to tell the lies. I'm certain it's from her mom. Certain. But she's now old enough to start bearing some level of responsibility of her actions. I love her more than life itself. So this is all I'm going to say regarding her and her mother, unless I have to.
I can't with Sparkle. I just can't. I literally can't, y'all. I cannot. Let me get to the comments. S. Wood said she is lying. She left her husband for him. What's up, Amanda? NBS said allegedly. You caught that too, right? You caught that too? You caught that too? You caught her saying that? Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't crazy because I heard Sparkle say alleged. Why would you have to say allegedly? You know the truth, right? So what would you need to say allegedly for? Was that a threat? Sounded like it. CK sounded like it. Ebony No Ivory said, sorry, I'm trying to get this mic adjusted correctly so it's like in my face. Ebony No Ivory said she lying so hard it's sad. It really is, Ebony. It really is. What's up, Quima? She says, I'm gonna have to call Cam Razor on these folks. Who's that? My Umami says, she's brown like me says, It wasn't a romantic relationship. It was a physical relationship. That's right. Watt HL says, she has a new single out. That's why she's responding. Somebody said it didn't go platinum. YMV says she put effing lie cussing words in her response and then said allegedly her niece was a child, the ghetto, the literal ghetto. Like, why would you have to put allegedly in your response? If listen, the only time you have to put allegedly in your response is if you are sharing a third party story that you do not have enough evidence for and you did not account for. If you were involved, you don't have to say allegedly because then it's your truth. It's how you know the truth to be. So you don't have to say, "Oh, I allegedly went to the store." Did you go to the store or not? Did you go to the store or not? I didn't date R. Kelly, allegedly. What planet is this? Y&V says, how do you tell the child that she has to bear some responsibility? Just Y&V said she made 100 trips to the store. Yes. Playing stupid. Here said she playing stupid. She playing something, honey. I don't know what she playing. I don't know what she's playing.
Sparkle. Have my phone here. A real heart-to-heart conversation. She was closer to be. This is another form of the terrible decision making.
Oh, I found the first part. Oh, y'all want to hear it? I found the first part. It's right here. I'm going to set my mic up so you guys can hear it, okay? Let me scoot out of the frame. Okay, here we go.
Hey y'all, it's Sparkle. Have my phone here because I have notes that I want to make sure that I say everything that I want to say today. And forgive the bolting of the jets overhead. We have the airport show here. I want to put a few things in context. I'm letting those who really know, support, and love me know that this is a family feud. Yesterday was a day I didn't think I'd ever see. Nevertheless, at this point, I'm pretty much prepared for anything. After I learned my niece was cooperating with the investigators, I prayed and I thanked God. Also, I did some thinking, as I often do, throughout this whole process. Asked myself,
it's the music for me.
What could be said that legitimately make this make sense and scare them from crazy? My answer is nothing. Knowing that there's no right answer to explain their ongoing actions and years of support for Robert once learning about that tape, the clear plan is to try to take me down because I've been so vocal. I knew that there was some anger and resentment because of my stance, which is why I'm like, okay, they're going to handle it their way.
Right.
And I'm going to handle it my way. And I was thinking, one day, my niece will be older and we'll have a real heart-to-heart conversation. And there's no expiration on this concept, but I'm very clear that day ain't close. I know us speaking privately and candidly to her looks like betrayal of her mother. But now being an adult, I was hoping she was closer to being more independent thinking at this point. Yesterday, my niece she absolutely doing the will of her mom. This is another form of the terrible decision making of her mom. And in my opinion,
and we saw the part 2. I want to get to that comment I just saw. In her opinion, she just felt like her niece was being used by her mother. My Umami says, what if Sparkle was telling the truth? James' parents profited from sacrificing their daughter. Her dad still worked with R. Kelly. James' family were mad at Sparkle. No one listened, so she leaked the tape. Now that I can believe. That I can believe. Now I got to actually like really reassess that, because that I can actually believe. I can actually believe that because you understand what I mean? Like she, that I can believe. Yeah. Because she never got anything out of it. It's not like she got like 25 platinum albums. It's not like she got to continue to work with R. Kelly. It's like as soon as she found out what was going on, it's like her career stopped because she stopped working with him collectively. Umami, you might be on to something. Like that is an incredible assessment. So I commend you for that, because now I'm thinking twice about reading Sparkle for Filth. No, you're right. It's like no one's listening to Sparkle. Everyone wants immunity, right? Everyone's out here wheeling and dealing, getting immunity. Everybody's out here wheeling and dealing, getting deals. Hold on one second. I'm reminded. Okay, sorry about that. My Alexa. So, yeah, I could believe that. I could actually believe that. Like, yeah, right? Maybe Sparkle is telling the truth. And because no one got anything to gain out of it except her parents, her and her parents, the victim and her parents. Her father got to keep working with R. Kelly and on all those albums. Her mother just got to live a cushy life. I'm not sure what her mother did. They got immunity, they got Section 8 vouchers, and they intend on suing for um, restitution. Roll a clip. Which clip? Um, uh, Jacqueline says Sparkle may be telling the truth. Yeah, I'm starting to really think that now. Wow. Which explains why they needed immunity. That's correct. Why would they need immunity? Because it doesn't make sense. Like your child is a victim of a child act, and you need it. What do you need immunity for? For what? Yes, the gray suit guy is Milton, a Renee Floyd. Yes, he is. Jennifer Graham says, I thought I saw somewhere where she was just friends with him. This is the first I've heard they were together. Me too. Yes, Section 8. So if you just joined us, we had read a lot of the court transcript today from the fifth day of trial of R. Kelly. His victim took the stand, and R. Kelly's attorney cross-examined her. R. Kelly's attorney confronted her about the prosecutors in R. Kelly's 2008 trial giving the victim and her family Section 8 vouchers in order for them to cooperate with the case, which I never knew. I never knew. I know y'all, I'm shocked too. And now that I really look back and now that I really go back and look at it, um, like that seems incredibly, that seems incredibly, inappropriate. You understand what I mean? For a That seems incredibly inappropriate for a prosecutor to do, because what would a prosecutor need to what would a prosecutor need to do? Why would he, if you're a child who has been um what would you need to give her a Section 8 voucher for? I never believed Sparkle either. it's like I at first, but then when I scroll up and I read Umami, one of the nosy bystanders here in the chat says this, and I'm gonna reread it because it's really I gotta actually take a picture of it because it's really um it's really telling, you know. My Umami says, what if Sparkle is telling the truth? James' parents profited from sacrificing their daughter. Her dad still worked with R. Kelly. Jane's family were still mad at Sparkle. No one listened, so Sparkle leaked the X tape. Because nobody was. Let's just play with this theory for a second, okay? Let's play with this theory for a second. That Sparkle found out, she was highly disgusted. She tried to help and no one listened. Okay. Let's play with that. It's just a theory, so we're just going to play around with it. It actually makes sense. Sparkle is the only person who recording artist who was related to the niece at the time the tape was released, who stopped her relationship with R. Kelly when it was released. Funny enough, the alleged victim's family did not stop hanging around with her, with R. Kelly. Then the X tape gets released, and everyone thinks it's just ha ha ha. R. Kelly's got an X tape doing a champagne shower on someone, and then it gets disclosed that that person getting that champagne shower is a minor. Understand what I mean? So, like, and then Sparkle has to continuously fight for her life and have to deal with the fact that she introduced this child to her, to R. Kelly, and you know what I mean. Like that's where the theory sits for me. Just Bushi says maybe the Section 8 is because R. Kelly was paying their way and the family would lose everything if they testified. Could be. Now that's bougie, you might be onto something because that could be something too. The family is so like the only way we can actually help you, but we can't help you if we're homeless. And so the prosecutors reach out to HUD, um, Housing and Urban Development, and say, hey, we need an emergency Section 8 voucher for one of our witnesses. Now that's also something too. Because why exactly would why would they give the family a Section 8 voucher to testify? Unless the family's like, we're going to lose everything and I can't focus on this case if me and my children and my husband are homeless, you know? Or what about this theory that, because remember, now she's an adult. Now she's about 24 years old. The Section 8 voucher, it didn't say it was for her family. The Section 8 voucher said it was for the victim. What if the victim said that I need to be able to, while the trial is in place, get away because I'm afraid of what R. Kelly could do. So the prosecutors give her a Section 8 voucher so she can like get emergency housing somewhere else. Now that's also something that the prosecutors could have set up for Jane, the victim. You understand what I mean? Like, hey, I don't mind testifying in this case, but I can't just remain at the same place I'm living at. I need to be able to move immediately and get out of Dodge. So the prosecutors, basically for her protection, get her an emergency Section 8 voucher, and then she immediately goes and moves with it. So maybe it's not a bribe. Maybe it was a way of prosecutors keeping her safe while the trial was at play. Because that's what I'm also thinking as well. Tiny the ninja says, a home would leave a trail if R. Kelly purchased it for them. If he did, then she wouldn't want to stay there. That's correct. And also he's close to the family. If the family lived there when she was a kid, right? So let's just say it's a family home that she was staying at with her mom and her dad. R. Kelly knows where she lives. So the emergency Section 8 voucher could have been used to help her move away where R. Kelly couldn't find her. Quima says, does it say what state the Section 8 voucher is for? This is all in the state of Illinois. So we're dealing with Cook County, Illinois, Chicagoland area. D. Davis says, but didn't Jane still have a relationship with R. Kelly as an adult? Yes. Now remember, her having a relationship with R. Kelly as an adult is not up for question. If a child was in a relationship with an adult and they continue that relationship with the adult, it's really the adult's fault that that child becomes this codependent on them, because the child has been raised to not understand what healthy relationships between adults and children are and what healthy relationships look like. So her constantly being in the presence of R. Kelly is not her fault. So that's not really up for question, because she's like, this is normal. It's not normal. She doesn't have the right people in place to tell her this is not a normal behavior. You need to separate yourself from this person. This person is not your partner. He is your abuser. Do you understand what I mean? So she is not in a predicament to be able to understand that notion. You know what I mean? It's just all wild. It's all wild. So you guys, we're gonna finish up the after show early. So we're gonna be on the after show probably here on TikTok around 6 p.m. So in 1 hour, we're gonna come back for the live show here. I'm gonna go pull up some more receipts from Sparkle, so we can actually take a deeper dive into these theories, because I really love the theories that you guys are giving, and I hope you guys come back in 1 hour. Okay. My laptop is dying, and which means that I have to charge it. Unbeknownst to me, I purchased the wrong charging port, which only has one.
Friday afternoon. Celebrate the start of the weekend with your Alexa routine. Hope you have a good one.
Sorry, Alexa just has to let me know it's Friday. So you guys, I'll be back in 1 hour. Let me charge the laptop, and we're going to take a deeper dive into Sparkle and this theory that she's actually the victim. Because I'm starting to believe that she is. The voucher came from, you guys, it was a federal case out of Cook County. So the voucher came from Illinois, you guys. So you don't got to research that. We all know that. That's just standard fact, okay? But we'll be back, because I'm starting to think that, yeah, Sparkle is the victim. So I'll see you guys for the after show in 1 hour, and we're going to get back into this theory, okay? Hello, Christopher Slater. How you doing? We'll be back in 1 hour, 9 p.m. Ohio. That's right, Kira. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for the after show. I'll see you guys then, okay? Bye-bye.